Just gonna pop on my pimple patches before I really get into this, which is not making a whole lot of sense since I'm about to film a nice up close real version of what I look like in the evenings. Okay, so I just took all my makeup off. I put my little pimple patches on to get rid of some of the acne I've got going on at the moment, and then I realized, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I got my eyebrows microbladed, the touch-up, the 6-week touch-up today, and I didn't film it, idiot, but I also wasn't back on YouTube 6 weeks ago when I got them microbladed, so I didn't do a microblading video. Now is my chance. So I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna do a little vlog. I'll do like an everyday for the first 10 days or something like that, so you guys can see kind of the healing process if you're thinking about getting your eyebrows microbladed. So I got these done today, this morning. My appointment was at 10:30. I don't think I started until about 11:30. It took about an hour, which isn't what I was expecting, because it took about an hour the first time as well, and I thought the touch-up was going to be a little bit shorter, maybe about a half hour or something like that, but it took about an hour. Mine actually weren't too bad, so you can tell obviously looking at them that they are way darker and a lot more full than they have been if you look back in my last couple of videos. They weren't doing too bad because I did really good at taking care of them after the first one about 6 weeks ago. So it really was just kind of filling them in again, and it's that touch-up that they said really makes them stay on for that kind of year and a half kind of time frame after you get them done. So I went in, like I said, it took about an hour, and what she does is she takes the little blade and she just kind of drags it through your eyebrow and she fills them in. They shape them. I had my eyebrows threaded first so that they already had that shape for her to follow. Right now they are very dark. They're not going to stay this dark. The color will actually fade. So you go through the same process that I went through about 6 weeks ago. So 6 weeks ago we did the same thing. We went in, they look like this, and it's the same kind of process. So after a day or so they really get dark. So they won't be this dark forever. After a couple of weeks, it's like the color completely disappears and you didn't do anything to your eyebrows, and you panic a little bit because you're like, oh my gosh, is this forever? And then after a couple more weeks, that color kind of slowly comes back and it fills back in and darkens up again. It won't darken up to this extent. This is the darkest they will ever be. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm looking in the mirror behind you. You kind of walk past and go like, whoa, who is that? Like, who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? When will my reflection show who I am inside? Anyway, little Mulan break for you there. It does kind of catch you off guard for the first little while after you see yourself in the mirror because they are so dark, but like I said, they're not going to stay like this. Also right now they don't look as natural as they're going to look. You can definitely see like the stroke marks through them. But those will go away. What they're going to do in the next like week or so, they're going to scab over, and then the scabs will just flake off. And then they do start to become a lot more natural looking. So I'll give you a close-up, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my oil on. So some places give you like an ointment, other places say to put oil on them. So I put oil on mine twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, and I really kind of like slather them up with oil to make sure that they're really hydrated. So I got these done today. I can't get them wet for 3 days, so they say take a bath for the first 3 days because you don't want the heat and the steam from the shower getting in there and kind of uplifting those scabs that are going to start forming in the next couple days. They also say don't do any heavy exercising so that you don't get sweat falling down into them for the same kind of reason, so that they don't get wet. And then you kind of slowly reintroduce moisture so you can kind of have things splashed a little on your face for a few days after that, but you know, all that good stuff. So let me give you a close-up of what these look like. Ignore that pimple patch in the middle there. As you can see, the strokes are definitely visible at the moment, but those will go away, and it will become a lot more natural, and it will also lighten up quite a lot. So they're not going to look like this forever. They're also not going to be this big forever. They do kind of shrink down a tiny bit as well. But I'm super excited for these to kind of get to the point that they're going to be for the rest of the time that I have them for the next year or so, because I really do like them when they're done. I am going to leave all of the information for the salon that I go to get these done because they are amazing. So if you're in the Salt Lake area, I do recommend them. They are so good. They are the most friendly, lovely ladies. It's called the Dandelion Beauty Salon and Spa. They are amazing. They do an excellent job. If you just want to get your eyebrows threaded, they do an amazing job threading and giving them these really nice shapes. Microblading, obviously, they are amazing. I've heard a lot of horror stories. They are so good. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful or anything like that. So I'm going to leave their information down below, and their website and their Facebook page and all that good stuff, phone numbers, so that you guys can get in touch if you're interested, because it is always good to go somewhere where you have like a recommendation with microblading, because otherwise it can be a little bit scary. So like I said, Dandelion Beauty Salon and Spa, they're amazing. I'm going to go ahead and put my oil on. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do it with a cotton pad, but I do. So, I mean, please no one scream and yell at me and tell me that I'm just horrible at aftercare, because it's just easier for me. So I'm just gonna rub this on there. I probably shouldn't use the same spot for both sides in case one side were to get infected or something. But like I said, it is what it is. If the ladies at Dandelion Beauty Salon are watching this, I hope I'm doing this right. Okay, and then I don't like to have the oil on my face because then I just kind of end up with more pimples. So I just kind of go right along the edge and just wipe that excess oil off. I also find when I do this in the mornings, the oil kind of soaks into the skin and then kind of moves down. So I don't wear eyeliner or eyeshadow when I've got the oil on, because the oil just kind of like wipes it all off throughout the day anyway. So I've got the oil on and I'm good to go. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. The rest of the days won't have so much talking just because it's going to be a check-in. So this is what they look like. Day one, first day, got them done a handful of hours ago. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Alright, day 4. The red spots on my forehead seem to be getting worse. It looks like I was attacked by a case of bed bugs or something. Pretty sure it's from the threading. Can't really cover it up too well because I don't want to get makeup in the eyebrows. Shoot me in the face. Otherwise, though, I don't really notice too much of a difference. They're not hurting or anything like that. I'm just putting the oil on them. They're still super, super dark, so they need to lighten up. But otherwise, I'm just really concerned about these dots. Check back in a couple days. Alright, you guys, so I am now on day 8, and there is a little bit of change to my eyebrows. So they have scabbed over and they've started flaking off or peeling off. I haven't been as good this time because you're not supposed to like peel them off, and I haven't been, but if they're a little bit loose, I've kind of like pulled them out a little bit, which I know you're just supposed to let them completely fall out naturally. So I haven't been as good this time as I should be, but they are doing pretty well. Also, ignore the massive sunburn. The breakout from the threading is finally starting to go away, but it's still not that great. So I've got some nice tea tree products that I'm trying out to see if those are going to help at all. But I'll give you a close-up of my eyebrows. Like I said, this is day 8, so I got them done last Saturday, and this is now the following Sunday, so a week and a day later. And this is what they look like at this point. So they will continue to scab and flake off, and then the color will kind of disappear for a little while, and then they'll come back in a couple weeks. Alright, so it's now a couple weeks later. My eyebrows have kind of settled down. They've finished flaking, so they are kind of looking, well, they're looking like how they're going to look. So the color did fade a little bit, and I actually don't have a clip for you of what they looked like then, but they didn't look a whole lot different than they did now. They've darkened up slightly since then, but for the most part, They flaked, like you saw in the last video, you could see some really dark spots. Those were the scabs. And now this is kind of what they look like every day at this point. So I don't have any makeup in them. I've got a little bit of makeup on the rest of my face, but I haven't filled them in. I haven't touched them, and I typically don't now. But this is pretty much what they look like. I'll give you a close-up. But as you can see, I mean, they're very natural. They don't really look like fake or painted on or drawn on or anything, which is why I really like these ones. But yeah, I'm a huge, huge fan. I'm so glad that I did them. I just feel like I look more put together all the time, and they just look so natural. So I'll give you a close-up so you can see, but this is the final product. Doing close-ups on your face is so awkward. I really need to pluck my eyebrows, but I mean, as you can see, they're just very, very natural. I'm a huge, huge fan. So now that I've done this and I've kind of dipped my toes in, I kind of want to do like eyelash extensions now or something like that. So we will see. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I mean, that's the process once you get your eyebrows microbladed. Like I said, this was the 6-week touch-up afterwards, but it's the same process that you go through. So after 6 weeks, it just starts all over again. They get really huge and dark, they scab, they fall off, they lighten, and then they darken back up to this. So yeah, if you have any questions about the process, please leave them down below. I can answer them, and if I can't answer them, I'm sure somebody else in the community can. Check out Dandelion Beauties for my Utah peeps if you're in the area. They really are fantastic, and I'll leave all their contact information down below. They're also just the sweetest ladies. Their salon is in Sandy, and it only opened up a few months ago, I think, only maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So they are just fantastic. I love them. If I do get eyelash extensions or anything else for that matter, I'll go back there because they're just great. So thank you very much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.